Hi everyone, my name's Michelle with the Book Dragon, and today we've got author Jill Rosenblatt with us. Hi Jill,
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. And Jill's got a book tour on with the Book Dragon this week for her Fixer series. So she's going to be answering some questions about that today and her writing in general.
Looking forward to it. I'm ready.
So can we start by you introducing our viewers to the premise of the Fixer series?
The premise of the series is basically about a young woman living in New York City. She is a college student and she finds herself in a very difficult situation where she is strapped for money. So she is about to be out of school, out of her apartment, out of time, and out of luck. So desperate times call for desperate measures. And due to her particular situation, she needs cash fast and a large amount of it. So she takes a brand new job, which is very much off the grid, which is to become a professional fixer, which basically means whatever you have to do, doesn't matter what it is, get in, solve the problem, get the job done, you get paid, and you get out, and you make sure that nobody knows you've been there. So that's something completely different for her. This is an origin story. Basically, this is a story that explores a term that I have heard of. I've heard the term fixer.
Mhm.
I've seen it on television. I've seen it in movies. There was Michael Clayton. There was a very famous movie with George Clooney. So I've heard the term, but I decided to take a different spin on it. How does someone get into this line of work? What exactly do they have to learn? How do they learn it? How do you do this? So that's how it started.
Yeah. And what gave you the idea for the main character of Katarina Mills? Is she inspired by anyone you know or any characters in fiction?
She's not inspired by anybody I know. I do admit to being a tremendous spy thriller fan. I love those books. I read a ton of them. But actually, this came about in a rather unusual way. I was actually in the middle of a 5-year bout of writer's block, and having a very difficult time of it. I had had some success. Previously, I had published 2 books traditionally through a publishing house, through Kensington Press. And I hit the wall after that. It just, nothing I did was working. So I actually stopped writing, um, in the sense of I started a ton of projects, couldn't get attached to any of them, and wound up leaving them. So
Mhm.
there's nothing worse for a writer than to not be doing what you're supposed to be doing. So the fixer came about through just another one of those sleepless nights where I was just very upset and depressed and aggravated of why am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Why can't I think of something to attach to? And then it came to me, well, what if there was a young woman who wanted something from a man and they were locked in this battle of wills to get it. And that was just the starting point. It was many months after that of questions. What is this thing that they're arguing over? Who is this woman? And who is this man? And it was just a process. It was a process of months before this idea of, well, what if she's a fixer? What does she have to do? And question after question and process. It was a long process, but I was very careful not to put any pressure on myself, not to
Mhm.
try to force the issue. Even when writing the first book, I put absolutely no deadlines, no pressure, no page count, no word count. I just simply let the story do what it was going to do. And when I felt that I had said everything there was to say, it was done. And I think that's one of the reasons that the first book really is a novella.
Mhm.
It's rather short, but once I got past that initial roadblock, I would say, the dam just opened. And the next books in the series are progressively larger and longer. The Killing Kind is a full-length novel. The Last Romanoff certainly is as well. And I'm in the middle of editing the fourth book in the series, The Good Criminal, and that's almost 1,000 pages.
Wow.
So, yes, the story is now just doing what it wants to do. So I'm very grateful. I am relieved and grateful every day for Katerina.
So at the start of the series, Katarina is a student living in New York. Is this somewhere you've lived yourself? And if so, what's your experience of the city?
I wish I had, I think, had enough courage to pick up and move into the city because I love it.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I never did. I live out on Long Island, which is about, I would say about an hour away by train.
Hmm.
If I take the express in, I can be there in an hour. But I love the city, and I used to take trips to take courses. I used to love going to the universities that they have the continuing education courses, and absolutely, I love to just wander the city. I used to, not that I don't like the subways, and that's part of the adventure as well, but just
Hmm.
walking the city is terrific and killing kind. There are specific places in the Killing Kind that I describe that I particularly went to visit. I used to walk in the character exact place. She goes to a lot of internet cafes. Um, they don't have them anymore. Public spaces where you can use their computers,
Hmm.
do whatever you want to do. I and visited, and I saw the building where it was kept. I looked at me exactly where she walked and saw the space as she would see it. So, unfortunately, due to COVID, I haven't been in the city since before the pandemic. I miss it, and I really like to be getting back in there soon.
So, if it was a movie or a TV
Uh,
show made of the Fixer, who would you want to
oh
play
my,
Katerina? Because I was thinking the
Jennifer.
whole time I was reading it, this would make such an amazing movie or TV show.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh,
Absolutely.
what an amazing
Yes,
choice.
yes. I took a look at her picture and I thought, yep, she's Katerina. Absolutely. I think she'd be just perfect. So, um, you never know.
Oscar winner.
I'll keep, I always try to stay positive. Just stay positive about everything. You never know.
Yeah,
Why not?
definitely. So, as you said, there's already three books in your Fixer series, and you mentioned the fourth. So, when can we
Yes.
hope to see that? And can you give us a hint of
Uh,
what to expect without too many spoilers?
I hope to be able to present it, I will say right now, as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I admit it takes me forever to do anything. I do have a day job. I do work a
Hmm.
tremendous amount of hours a week at the day job. But it is moving along. It is going very well. And I think so. I to set a deadline to put pressure on, but I am working at it to get it done as soon as possible. I'm uh, too much. Okay. Let's just say has entered what um, writing teachers call the dark night of the soul. Um, the last Romanoff has ended on, I don't want to give that away for those who haven't read it, but Katerina is, I would say, at this point, under the most intense pressure she has ever been under.
Mhm.
And she is being pushed to use all of her skills as she's never had to before. And she is also in a place where the allies that she has gathered around her cannot be there with her.
Mhm.
So she has to do it on her own. And that's a new space for her. So lots of new challenges.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And I think, if it's worked for you not to have that structured deadline, then it sounds like the right thing. And you get the best possible quality work out of you, which, is good for us all.
Oh, I just am thrilled to be able to introduce the character and the books. I so
Mhm.
hope that readers enjoy the story and the journey as much as I'm enjoying writing it. And I'm just so pleased for and welcome readers that want to come along in the adventure. I just say welcome, and I'm thrilled that you're here. So, and I hope you enjoy it.
Oh. Oh, that's a lovely way to end, Jill. And I'd just like to tell everyone that we have a book signing tomorrow for Jill. It's a remote one. Unfortunately, she can't be with us in person, but there will be signed copies of all of her Fixer series available between 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. And that's at 6 West Row, Stockton-on-Tees. And we also have the copies available online if you're quick enough and you manage to get hold of them. So check those out. Thank you again, Jill, for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure to interview you today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm just so thrilled I could be here with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.